This month on HMP, we start a whole new spooky series. Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Well, welcome back to Dirty Babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast. For sure, we put together a half-ass team as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Porters, and welcome to Spooky Sequel Season here on HMP. Joining me, some of the go-backs from the internet.
Looks like we're going to need an even bigger boat.
And he's been chewing on electrical lines again. Bruce Leslie.
That's how I keep my twisted, still, and sex appeal like every good murder hobo.
Bruce, I had to, I
love it.
The boy needed some help, and he was just like, "Please, let me get a little something." And I got you, baby bird. Don't worry, we good.
I like the blood splatter effects because that, thanks to my fondness for spaghetti, that's how I look after lunch at work many days.
And see, I went with like different eyes and stuff like that because I felt like it was very, eye doctor-esque. They're both dead in different ways and stuff, so it's kind of fun.
Pretty gnarly cataract on that one side. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Not too shabby here. Well, we got a great month lined up for you guys. We're going to be looking at sequels to great horror movies. Now, sometimes those movies are so good, you wonder, why the hell would they make a sequel to that movie? Well, money. That's the reason. That's the reason they do any of these things. And we got a couple different ones for us to talk about here. We're going to talk about how they differ from the original and everything. And of course, if it would further influence any, subsequent movies in these sequels. I think all of the movies that we're covering this month have sequels that go beyond the initial sequel that we'll be covering here today. And we're kicking off spooky season sequels with Jaws 2 from 1979. Jaws 2 was your pick, Sean. Give us a little sneak peek of why Jaws 2.
Because it's one of those movies where I think everyone who is an American has probably seen Jaws or at least parts of Jaws, but not a ton of people talk about Jaws 2. And the thing about Jaws 2 is that for 1 year, it was the most successful sequel movie ever made. It was made for $30 million, and it ended up with a worldwide gross of $208 million. And that's in 1978. That's 1978 money, made $208 million. And it was the most successful sequel of all time until 1979, when a movie called Rocky 2 came out, and that beat it.
Be my guess, yeah.
And so it was really surprising to me that America was basically like, in the world was basically like, we can't get enough of this Jaws. Let's get some more Jaws. And when you think about Jaws now, the sequels are such an afterthought that Jaws is singular. You don't even think of it with the sequels. And so I wanted to see what Jaws 2 was like. And honestly, the reason why we have our top 5 today of top 5, hey, what's up? Our top 5 hangout movies is because, to me, this movie is a hangout movie. That's really what it is. It's not a horror movie, really. There's no specific goal, really. It's just Roy Scheider hanging out and being awesome, man.
It's hard to get too scared of a horror movie when it's like the easiest murderer in the world to avoid.
Right.
I am so far from the ocean at any given moment.
Right.
Dry land. It's the best weapon, to be honest. But before we get into all of that, we do want to remind people that you are listening to this show or watching it right now on a live stream, because the spooky season sequel month is here. But I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling a little bit different lately. Things have been odd around here. Feels kind of like death is watching sometimes.
Okay.
You close your eyes hard enough, you might be able to feel him behind you. Oh, shit.
No, that's spooky.
Oh,
that's so spooky.
So the other one was the fake background.
The other one was the fake one, everybody.
You got me, damn it. You got me, Portress.
That explains the echo. That explains the echo.
There's nothing in this room really yet.
Did you move into a new place?
Yes, I have. I am a homeowner now, everybody. Patreon.
You own a home?
You're a homeowner?
Keep it quiet. Keep it quiet. We don't want people knowing about things.
Well, sir, we are going to talk about this at length after this show is over.
Yes. I know somebody now might just quit his job and freeload.
Come on,
get out of my head, Leslie. That's my plan.
2 freeloaders, twice the fun.
So I want to encourage people to subscribe to the YouTube. Ignore the echo for right now because I don't have things up on the wall yet. Things will start to fill out here and be a little less echoey. I can promise you that. And I was trying to not talk too loud because I know
the echo, of course.
You didn't want to ruin the surprise. So when I asked you if you had reverb,
I was about to bitch about the fact that your dog wasn't on the bed, and I was like, how come the star of our show isn't on the bed right now? What are you doing?
He's in the back room right now because I didn't want him clopping because I got to cut his nails because he would be walking around here and
click, 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 click.
No good for anybody. But yeah, you'll see him in the back on things and you'll see this whole thing change. I've got all kinds of different plans, including a new series that I'm about to start. I should drop the first, kind of teaser video on Monday. And then we're going to go into it after that, where I'm going 0 to home theater, where I'm starting a whole series of, hey, here's a brand new empty room. We're going to make it an entire home theater and everything like that. We're going to paint the whole thing. I got to get electricity. I got an electrician in here to, put some grounds and stuff because it's an old house. So we got to figure out some cool stuff. So that's going to be a whole new series on YouTube. And of course, some other things, as you can see. And now I've got many sets with which to work with.
Oh, congratulations, Portress. I'm so happy for you, man. Really, congratulations. Good job, man.
Next time I mix up a bunch of fake blood and I want to film a real bloody scene and don't want to make a mess at my house, I'm heading down south.
Well, here's the thing. You can film that scene in my garage. Which is it's a detached garage thing that is like, it's more like a workshop really, but it does have a garage door. It is bigger than any apartment I've ever lived in. So
wow, that's great.
But yeah, we'll have a little walkthrough for all the fine folks. Nothing is anywhere right now, but
right. Oh, that's why you've been so busy, is that you have your full-time job and then your part-time job of getting a house. But being a homeowner, for those of you who don't own a home, it is literally a part-time job getting to the point where you're ready to go and you can actually the paperwork. You've never seen anything like it. It's that immense.
So in order to help me make sure that this stays over my head, I want everybody to go over, subscribe to the YouTube. If you have that like button, hit that MFR as hard as you ever have. And I do have I got a popcorn video that's coming up from a company that has reached out and sent their little thing here. We got a whole bunch of videos playing. You see, I got a fireplace back there. We're going to do live streams and fireside chats. That's what I'm going to call them.
That's terrific, buddy.
I'm going to do we need to do fireside chats because there's a fireplace in this little room I use.
Get you a little smoking jacket here and everything, and a corncob pipe or some shit. Yeah, good
brother. I'm well equipped when it comes to that sort of goofy.
Oh, absolutely. What are you talking about? Of course I know.
I got my cardigan and my pipe all rip-roared ready to go.
So do that, and if you can here, always remember, Fortress Bucks. We need some of them too to keep this bad boy going here, because I don't know what you know, but every time you move, I don't care where you move or how you move, all of a sudden the bank account just starts going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wait until home ownership is just as expensive, man. Everything costs either $2,500 or $10,000. Literally every single thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for the electricity thing to be, because I need that before the home theater stuff can start. So, All right, we'll talk about more of this after the
yeah.
Get on that hype train, everybody.
I'm just so happy for you, man. I really am. Congratulations, dude. What a great moment. Nor I. Yeah. What a great moment, man.
He's digging himself out of a hole, everybody, or is doing as best as we can for that. So patreon.com/HMP, like all the YouTube stuff. We love you. Thank you so much. And check out our Dingers on this week, which will be after this show, streaming on YouTube. We're talking our top 5 hangout movies, as Sean mentioned. This is kind of a hangout sort of movie here and everything. So we're going to talk about other hangout movies over there on the Dinger Zone after our regular episode live stream here on YouTube, or on the Dinger Zone at patreon.com/HMP afterwards. Appreciate all of y'all. Let's get into it, fellas. Here is I don't even have the page up. As you can imagine, there's too much shit going on, and I animated Bruce's face onto a thing. So, give me a break. Here's the IMDb plotline for Jaws 2. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Police Chief Brody must protect the citizens of Amity after a second monstrous shark begins terrorizing the waters. This is written by Carl Gottlieb of Jaws fame, of course, and Howard Sackler. He did Fear and Desire and uncredited for Killer's Kiss, both Stanley Kubrick films, great ones at that, and the Great White Hope. This is directed by Jeannot Swarak. There you go. That's a little better. He did Somewhere in Time, a great flick that I actually watched in a theater on a treadmill. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He also did Supergirl, which we reviewed on HMP Volume 1 back in the day. And he did a buttload of TV over the years, from Kojak to Friends and Ally McBeal, and just passed this year. So this goes out to you, Jeannot. This is starring Roy Scheider, Lorraine Gray, Murray Hamilton, and Joseph Mascalo. Sean, explain yourself.
Right. Well, I did earlier.
Explain it again.
I did explain myself earlier, but I'll just start. Because we start at the wreck of the Orca, like straight away. Divers going down to check out what's going on with the Orca. The very famous boat from the original Jaws movie. And I think that's a really great way to start, because you're like, oh, okay, great. So we're really getting into it right away. That's awesome. And then they immediately ruin it by having a shark attack the divers as they're looking at the Orca. Like there's sharks just hanging out there. Like, we know what this boat did before. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to hang out here. And then divers are going to come and I'm going to kill them as a revenge fantasy. It's kind of like, it's like a reverse RoboCop or reverse The Crow, where like
reverse The Crow. I like that.
The Jaw, where Jaws is like, listen, I knew that guy. That guy was my best friend, and these humans killed him. So I'm going to hang out here at the boat. It makes literally no sense that there's a shark just hanging out there.
Well, the first thing I thought about when I saw those divers down there with the Orca was I was checking out the underwater camera. For some reason, I love like that old equipment like that just kind of gets a little bit of excitement out of me. So I spent more time paying attention to the camera and the waterproof casing that it had and everything than I did the actual sharks or the killing scene. But the whole time I'm watching this movie, what's really interesting to me is, at least in like the living history of my lifetime, this is when franchises were kind of being born. Like, this is when they're figuring things out, because they hadn't made all the part 2s for the summer blockbusters yet, because Jaws is kind of the reason the word blockbuster exists, right?
Yeah.
So I'm watching this, and I'm watching this from like an archival kind of point of view. I'm just real curious, because they did not yet have the formula on how you make a sequel. And I'm watching at times, I'm like, yeah, they really don't know how to make a sequel, but they're figuring it out, I guess, because they're going to keep trying a couple more times.
Yeah.
Jaws 2, Human Zero. I would have liked to have seen that one instead of this.
I mean, it's a successful movie. Like, Jaws 2 is just like a massive success. That's why they make another one. That's why they make 2 more. But by successful, if you mean that it was profitable, I think that this movie, I think everybody walked out of this movie who saw it and were like, well, that's not the same. Yeah. And I'm not calling people in 1978 stupid, but I think that people are far more savvy when it comes to movie making now. And so I think that they probably, quite a few people walked out of the movie theater after having seen Jaws 2 and went, I don't like that, and I don't know why. And I think that it really is the difference between, because look, yes, Spielberg is the difference between all of this, right? Like, he is the number one reason why this movie is not nearly as good as the original. But the other part to this is that also Jaws was an original idea. I mean, the novel was an original idea. And then they just had to make more of that. And whenever you're doing that, you're never going to win.
Well, I think that one thing that really contributed to the impact, the cultural impact of this movie, probably more so than the movie itself or even its box office, is just that tagline. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water again.
Right.
I can't think of anything during my lifetime that has hit harder for something less significant. You know what I mean? Like that tagline hits so much harder than the movie Jaws 2 does.
Right.
Yeah, and like it's is that is it before or after In Space No One Can Hear You Scream?
It's
After.
before.
Oh,
It's
is it?
Jaws
Okay.
2 is 78 and Aliens is 79, right? 80?
Okay.
If only we could find out somehow. Keep talking.
I prefer to be confidently wrong than right.
At least I feel like I'm smart.
1979, so it is a year later.
Huh.
But something else when I'm watching this movie, and I do think 1978, this is a pre-VHS era,
Right.
and I'm starting to think, what about all the people who didn't make it out to see Jaws? They heard all the buzz and like, well, I'm not going to miss it a second time, and this is their introduction to Jaws. Like, imagine the people that walked out after seeing this, and they're like, okay, but really? You know, like this just running through.
Well, one of the things this movie does do that the first Jaws doesn't, and this is one of the things I was talking about pre-show, is that I remembered the first Jaws having lots of moments of the water is lava, where like the second you stick a toe in, you're dead, right? But that's not the way Jaws works. That's not the way that shark works in that first film. And the second film here, those kids, the second they put a hand in the water, it's like, my hand's gone. You know, like there's a lot of that
it's like
happening
piranha
here.
instead of sharks.
It's almost like the same rules of the movie Tremors. This is your opportunity, Bruce.
Tremors.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll keep going. So it has the same rule set, right? Where the second you start walking around, that worm is going to come and get you. And it's the same thing with the shark in this movie, even though the shark has already been mangled unbelievably, like burnt on half its face. So you know it's the same shark. You know it's the exact same shark. It is bananas.
I like how this shark is just a mean son of a bitch at the end of the day. Like he's just a jerk who's going, like, he's not feeding, he's not hungry, he's an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was his little brother that got killed in the first movie. He's got to show these people at Martha's Vineyard what's up.
That would have been a great side.
Amity. It's not Martha's Vineyard. It's Amity.
That was my gay lover you killed.
And my brother, because we're sharks. Don't judge.
So one of the things about this movie is that it's very clunky, right? Like they set everything up the way that a script is supposed to be set up. But like the second you meet the mayor's kid, you're like, well, that kid's dead. Like the second you see him in this script, you're like, or in this film, you're like, well, that kid's dead.
We just created a child.
I'm just surprised that they didn't like lean fully into it, where like he's a prick, you know, and like him and Brody's kid don't get along. There's not really any of that, which they would absolutely hang on later. They would totally do that later. But right now, because they're trying to figure out how sequels work, right now it's just the mayor's kid, but you know he's dead. It's the same thing with the underwater power cable, where it's brought up within the first 15 minutes of the movie, and then it's brought up again every like 10 minutes. The power cable's there, the power cable's there, the power cable, to the point where it completely takes the ass out of the surprise of like, how are they going to kill this thing at the end of the movie? Like it like the second you see that power cable, you're like, well, they're going to electrocute him. Clearly.
Plant a quick one up top.
Despite all that, Sean, I forgot how they killed the shark at the end of the movie. I felt so stupid when it finally happened.
Such horseshit. There's no way.
No, I totally forgot.
So when you started watching this movie again last night, when the power cable comes up, you literally were like, "Huh, I wonder if that's going to come into play later."
Oh, I thought was like, haha, cheap jump scare. Everybody thought it was going to be a shark, but it was a power cable. And then
Get the hell out of here.
hey, true confession.
Oh
I'm
my
bearing my
word.
soul to
You
all.
are much smarter than that, sir.
No.
That's why I'm ashamed.
See what it is. It's like these super smart people. Sometimes they got all these they're so much smarts in all them brains, right? All the like regular stuff just kind of gets filtered out of there sometimes. I feel like that's our case with Bruce. Sometimes is like the normal things just kind of get filtered out because they got so much other brains in there, And it's just like
Chekhov's power cable.
Right. So I want to say something really nice about this movie because I'm going to say a couple of things to damn it to hell. The first thing is I am so super jealous of Roy Scheider in this movie because Roy Scheider has life figured out, man. He has cheated life with Jaws 2, right? You look at him, the man he's already permatanned, he's spending a whole lot of time on beaches.
Well, they said that in the first Jaws and everything is that like the dichotomy between Dreyfuss and Scheider was hilarious because Dreyfuss would go off to read. That was his favorite hobby, and Scheider's version of that was go tan. I swear to God, it was.
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all.
He did a great job. He matches my leather bomber jacket from high school.
Oh yeah.
So he's got that. So I'm super jealous of all the free time Roy Scheider has. Then the second thing is that his character smokes. So that dude's just lighting darts wherever he wants to, whenever he wants to in this movie. That again, good on you, Roy.
Contributes to that beautiful leathery complexion I mentioned.
Of course. So good on you, Roy. And you can tell that the second they call cut and the day is over, old Roy's going to have a few pops.
Yeah, I was thinking whiskeys, but yeah.
Having a few pops, and then he's like, like he's got a bunch of money in his pocket because he just started the biggest movie of all time at that time. So he's got that money. He's getting all these roles. He's one of the most famous people in Hollywood right now, and he's just enjoying the time. And so when you're watching him in this movie, it's what makes it such a cool hangout movie for me is that you see Roy Scheider. Like you can see it in his eyes, basically being like, I am hanging out in Martha's Vineyard where I'm the most famous person on this island for the next 3 to 4 months while we shoot this thing. And I have as much money as a man will ever need. And I'm probably staying in one of the nicest places someone can stay at Martha's Vineyard because he probably had kind of a tough time making the first Jaws. But there ain't no way he had a hard time making Jaws 2 because they had to make sure they got Roy for that, right? And so I'm just so jealous watching him in this movie because I'm like, Roy has cheated life, man. He has totally figured it out. It's 1978. He's a millionaire. He's working on Martha's Vineyard. Like, get the hell out of here, man. It's amazing.
And it's like you're the lead now in this Jaws instead of like, I mean, he was kind of like he's a co-lead in the first one, but he's definitely the lead of this film.
Without a doubt.
He had to be the biggest beneficiary of Dreyfuss's total lack of interest of anyone.
Right. And the other part to this too is that, Roy is really good in this movie. Like he is very, very good in this, even though he could have half-assed this and no one would blame him. And he doesn't. He's doing a very good job in this.
He's bringing back like his kind of drunk stuff from the first Jaws here and everything. Yep. Thus, again, really kind of feeding into that Brody does kind of have a drinking problem that we never really truly address or anything. But Brody's a very heavy drinker.
Oh, yes, you mean he's a white male boomer? I mean, that's pretty much you got them all checked off. I think that my favorite part of this movie is going to be Scheider's performance. Just kind of joining and saying nice things about this movie. I love studio productions from this time. 1978. I just love the way it looks. I love the way it's lit. I love the nature of the cinematography. I love the settings that they have. I love their locations. So I really, really enjoy just looking at this movie as it's playing. I mean, whether you like the story or not, I think it looks great. And it's got a real nostalgic look. Like it really feels like, oh, this is Sunday afternoon and I'm watching TV with my uncles or something like that. It just has
Sure.
that feeling to it. And I find that to be a big positive. And it's very charming the way all the kids have like their own little customized sailboats, the way that regular kids may have their like bicycles or something.
Or cars. I mean, they're
Or
car
cars,
age, but
yeah.
but none of these kids have cars. They have boats because, of course, they do, because they live on Martha's Vineyard.
And, it's not like we're 2 years from a massive shark attack, or 5 years, 4 years. I don't know how many years have gone by in story, but
They don't really
think
say.
people would, one time in the town that I grew up in, a guy got hit by a train like in the 70s. And everybody's mom still talked about, well, you know what happened to Bob Jones when he was playing on the train tracks? He got hit by that train. So there's no way that there aren't busybody moms and grandmas and aunties saying, you'd better be careful out on that sailboat. Remember the shark attacks from literally the last time we were all here making a movie?
And that is one of the issues. That is one of the issues with this movie, is that everyone has completely forgotten about the horrible shark attacks that happened. Let's give this movie credit and say 3 years ago, right? In the time frame of this movie.
I'm just going to explain it away that's what life was like before social media.
Or people could just die, 2 years go by, and everybody's like, who? What are we talking about?
It's like the 3rd of July. I'm getting ready to step in the water, and up pops a memory from 3 years ago. And I'm like, nope.
Well, you got to think of Martha's Vineyard sort of like your small town, Bruce, that you grew up in, right? Yeah. Because Martha's Vineyard is very cloistered for where it is, because I mean, there's the people when I was a kid, like basically a couple of years after Jaws 2. Martha's Vineyard was a place where there were the town folk who lived there year round. And they weren't rich. They were like middle class people who just happened to live on this island, and then juxtapose that with the super fabulously wealthy who would vacation there. And so you have basically two halves with Martha's Vineyard in the 80s. This is the way it was anyway. We were not a Martha's Vineyard family. We were a Cape Cod family. And so you have with Martha's Vineyard, and they kind of do it in the movie where, there's rich people, and then there's the people who live there year round, and they even bring it up. One of the kids brings it up in the movie, where it reminded me, this isn't the case anymore. Only the fabulously wealthy live at Martha's Vineyard now, but at the time, it was like, there's like the poor kids who live on Martha's Vineyard, and they would have their own boats. They didn't look like the boats in Jaws 2, but they did have their own boats where they would go out fishing every day or whatever.
Kind of reminds me of some folks I knew on the Outer Banks, a similar kind of secluded dichotomy there.
Right. And what I'm trying to get to, though, is that if there was a shark attack within 5 years, it's all anyone would ever talk about. Like the shark that killed those kids, it's all anyone would ever bring up.
It'd be like an annual vigil, right? I mean, they'd have like a candlelight vigil on the 4th of July.
Absolutely.
A little memorial by the thing for the gal that,
they would absolutely have that.
But,
this movie doesn't have that because everybody has amnesia.
Yeah, like I was saying before, they're trying to figure out how to make a sequel, and right now they're like, well, do we act like the first one happened or not? They really can't decide. But then later on, they start referencing it a lot when they said, you know what, we got to reference the first one. I don't know how we don't do it.
Right. Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
Well, I just wanted to bring it off for like half a weird second here, because we mentioned it. It's like it's 3 years later, and I had a weird thing watching this movie comparatively, and like you said, I've seen Jaws like a million times at this point in my life.
Right.
So while a lot of it looks very familiar and everything, one thing that I noticed is I was just like, oh, look at everybody got fat in 3 years. There were no fat people in the original Jaws. Like you had one or two that were like kind of like, those were the big ones. But there's a lot of fat people in this, or people that were much heavier than what they would have normally been in 1975 and stuff. Also, but people are starting to get fat right here. You're starting to see it in 1979. I'm just saying.
Between Jaws and Jaws 2, McDonald's introduced the Happy Meal.
Son of a bitch.
There it is.
What sense?
There it is. My biggest problem with this movie, and Jaws has a bit of this also, but not nearly to the extent that Jaws 2 does. The people who make this movie basically said, "Oh, you know what? We'll just give everybody nondescript New York accents, and that will be the accent that we use for all the people in this movie."
Yeah.
When there is no more like sandy, gravelly, New England, nasally twang voice than that of the people who live on beachside at Martha's Vineyard. They are literally they almost need subtitles. That's how thick the accents are there.
They even like make fun of it in the first Jaws and everything.
Right.
Would I be out of line, Sean, if I asked you to just give us your rendition?
Let's see here. I'd have to think of something to say.
Tell us where you parked your car.
I don't want to do that one. That's what everybody does. It's more like this. It's like oh, his son is wicked queer.
Yeah.
He's wicked queer, that kid.
Queer, retarded is something like
so like
that.
a perfect
He's
storm.
so retarded. He's retarded and he's queer. Like that's how it is.
So like somewhere between a perfect storm and then like a Rhode Island thing.
It is, but it's even thicker. Like, I mean, it is literally ground zero of that accent. And so
Wow.
And so it is incredibly thick. It's almost like Maine and just outside of Boston had a baby, and that's what that's the accent they have.
Look, kid, you stupid, all right?
If you've
It's
ever
Marky
heard
Mark reading Stephen King dialogue.
Yeah.
If you've-
No, not far.
It's not bad. It's not far off. It's almost like John Krasinski, because John Krasinski is from that area as well.
Oh, okay.
And so whenever like he has crushed his New England accent, but now whenever he's doing it, he does it twice as hard as anybody from Boston speaks. And so that's what they sound like there.
Wow. All right. Moving on.
One quick other thing I want to because I want a couple weird praises and stuff, because I was like, during the credits and everything. First of all, like Bruce said, I do like the kind of underwater cinematography, and it really does look like they took actually a lot from the original trailer of Jaws and stuff, which didn't end up a lot in the movie except for like the opening and stuff. But they learned a lot from that and really it made it look really, really great. But while listening to it, I was just like, oh, listen to these like little John Williams-esque flourishes in here. They're really trying to, get his work and just, adapt it. And like, that's very, very good. And then son of a bitch, John Williams' name actually comes up for this. And I'm like, wow, that's something else that it's Brown and Zanuck had just backed up the Brinks truck, I would imagine.
Of course. Of
Plus
course.
There's a whole lot like, how about we give you a check and you just move a few of those notes around on the paper and send it back to us. It's not like it's a whole new composition from scratch necessarily.
No, but like you do need a lot of that stuff that's in this movie as well, like a lot of his score, because a bit of this film is what I call advertisements for sailboats.
Yes.
Because there's so much in here that's just like, we're just looking at sailboats, but the John Williams music underneath it would have you suspect that something far grander is going on than what is actually happening at the time.
Right.
And there were a few moments in this movie, and again, maybe this is an understatement, but a few moments in this movie where I was like, oh, they really don't know what to do for a part two, because they're just killing time. I mean, there's some scenes where it's just like they are clearly just trying to get their run time to not be embarrassingly short.
Yeah, the thing I don't know. There's that one scene where I don't know if that's real or not, where they're kind of taking that kid's hanging off one end of the sail, and the wind keeps picking him up, and he keeps because he's not parasailing. There's literally just a sail. Right, there's just like a sail at the end of somebody else's boat. Right, and it keeps lifting him up and bringing him back down. That feels like maybe people did that, but I've never seen that happen before.
I was trying to figure out what was going on. I thought that he was strapped to a sail that got blown off of his sailboat and he was stuck to it. I was confused.
It was for recreation. Like, this is funsies.
Because I was very puzzled by that whole sequence. And once again, did not move the story along either. Yet another one of
No.
those things. They just needed to get this runtime close to 2 hours.
Well, there's a lot of moments where we're just like, okay, we're just gonna have this little time right here, like something that should like easily be edited down and stuff. They're like, nope, we're gonna take our time with this. It's like it's verisimilitude is what it is. No, it's you needing to fill a runtime, homie. Get out of here.
It's like when the girl says that her cousin is coming, and then her cousin shows up on the dock, and they don't do the rule of threes where 3 guys turn around and say, whoa, who's that girl? They do like the rule of 17 or something.
Yeah.
Every single kid that was on set that day had to turn around and comment on.
And I gotta, I was so bummed out at that scene because they had the perfect opportunity to do something that people don't do anymore. And this is around that time too, where she's walking down the dock. No one, not a single person goes, ooh, wee. No one does that.
Not even a good cat call whistle.
Huh?
Not even a good cat call whistle.
It's true.
But and you know, beauty comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes, but when the camera finally revealed who they were carrying on about, she looked too much like a regular person. I was expecting, you know, like whatever 1978's, I don't know, Raquel Welch or somebody.
Well, that's what I liked. That's what I liked about casting her, is that she's not like va va voom. Like she's just like a normal teenage looking girl who the only reason why they cast her because, man, that girl's got some pipes on her. She's screaming through that probably 2/3 of the third act. I mean,
yeah, they screaming was definitely part of the audition process for a lot of these folks, where they're just like, listen, we're gonna have to hear you belt, because at first when you see a lot of them, you're just like, well, I don't know that I quite get what we're kind of working with here, and then when you're screaming, you're like, that's why she got this job.
Yeah. One more thing that I wanted,
Halloween world where the Scream Queen had been created.
One more thing I wanted to talk about is the scene where I was like, oh, that's so cool. Which is like with good things to say about the movie. I mean, is shark versus helicopter. I mean,
love that.
Shark versus helicopter is so cool. It doesn't make a lick of sense. I don't care. It's awesome. And
what a great shot. The overhead kind of shot leaning down, and where the shark comes right up at the I'm telling you, most of the shark stuff in this, I really enjoyed. When the shark's on the screen, we're having a good time.
It's true.
That was one of the 2 greatest shark versus helicopter moments in cinema, so I was all for it.
What's the other one?
The Batman movie from 1966.
Oh, of course, you're right. You know what?
That's the only thing I thought of the whole time I'm watching the scene. I'm thinking like, man, where's Adam West?
I was getting ready to say something shitty, and I'm like flipping through, and then you say something great.
Oh, sorry.
Every now and then.
So here's a question for you. Is this movie better if we don't know until the third act that Brody is right about the sharks being back at Martha's Vineyard, like that he might actually be crazy?
I thought that would have been a really cool angle to have as somebody who has had this, post-traumatic, stress of hearing everything from Jaws, to where, yeah, he would be overly hyper and sensitive on stuff, and I love the idea that he got spooked, and then literally you even think, oh well, he can get out of this. Then he rips his gun out and starts shooting it into the water, and you're just like, okay, it's going to be hard to get people back on your side after you're shooting into the water with a revolver, my friend.
Yeah.
You could have this whole thing of is he just dreaming it up, and then something does happen, and it's like almost a boy that cried wolf kind of thing,
right,
where they don't believe him. So they could have gone down. I felt like they were going down the angle, but they didn't really do anything like that.
I think that makes the story better, and it makes it a more interesting story, but I don't know if it makes the movie better, particularly in 1978. You got to get your kills in early. And once you show the kills, then that takes away the ambiguity of what Brody's going through. So yeah, if they wanted to Shutter Island this, that would have been a more interesting way to tell the story. I just don't know if the movie would have done as well at the box office.
No, and I will say this: I think one of the things that probably helped this movie become a success is especially comparison to the original Jaws and everything, has an unbelievable amount of shark stuff in it. So
Yeah.
like, and because their shark didn't work on the first movie, you didn't see the
Right.
shark all that much. And they figured out whatever it was. And honestly, the shark looks pretty good.
It does. It looks great.
I'm not mad at the shark at all.
It looks great.
And
Also, the other part to that question too is that like, how many people are you fooling with? Is Brody crazy? I mean, it's called Jaws 2. It's about it's about shark. It's a movie. There better be a goddamn shark in this movie. He better not just be crazy.
Speaking of which, when the killer whale is on the side of the thing and he goes shark, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Brody, you went up against this thing. This is clearly not a shark. I was like, oh, the shark bite. Okay. I was like, my God, has he not learned anything in the amount of time that's gone on? He is dumb.
I wish I could have been inside your head when that was going on.
That's so good.
I was just like, Jesus Christ, he's an idiot. That's not a shark.
Even Brody has shark amnesia, or as I shall call it from this point forward, sharknesia.
I think I went to school with Sharknesia.
I was thinking like a Sharknado type franchise where somebody gets hit in the head with a shark and can't remember who he is.
No, it's kind of like the Purge, right? Where like the whole thing is that like
once a year,
town
Jaws comes to the beach.
Once a year, Jaws comes to the beach, but the next day, everyone gets amnesia, and so Sharknesia is born.
And that's why people still live at Martha's Vineyard or Amity.
Exactly.
Amity.
God, if sci-fi steals this idea from us, this is on the internet. We have archived this. Don't do it, you sons of bitches. Or if you do, give us a cut. That's all we ask. And I know it's the Sci-Fi Channel, and the cut's not going to be big.
Where does your cut come in? You didn't even come up with a single goddamn idea for this.
Listen.
He owns the recording.
Spot the house. I need whatever little sci-fi money I can get. Okay,
He's got that out.
Saying we when we came up with this great. Okay, Cartman. Fished it.
Good idea.
I like the guy that gets his inflatable catamaran sailboat out in the water on a sunny day and decides that's the perfect time and place to read a book.
Yeah. Well, did you guys recognize that actor? You've seen that actor before? Did you recognize him?
Is that a young Bill Murray?
Yes, you've nailed it yet again, sir. It is a young Bill Murray. Absolutely. His name is Keith Gordon. And Keith Gordon was an actor like when he was younger, like around this time and a little afterward. I'm not vamping for time or anything, looking through his IMDb. That's for sure. I can tell you that for certain.
Was he one of the kids from 8 is Enough? Because they had 8 kids, so every actor got that job.
He is Rodney Dangerfield's son in Back to School.
Oh, that's a killer role.
Yes. And he's in a bunch of those movies, he's the lead in Christine, stuff like that.
Oh, that was a good performance from my very, very old faded memory.
He transitions from that to a director, and he's been a TV director forever. And he directed an episode of Legion. He directed it in an episode of Homeland, which is why I'm talking about this. He also directed episodes of Better Call Saul and Fargo, and he is one of those guys. He just works a lot. He just works a lot, and you have to pretend that it's not the dude from Back to School when he shows up on set.
What did you guys think about dollar store version of what's his face from Albert Brooks? Dollar store Albert Brooks.
Oh man, you're not wrong. He is.
I love this guy.
He's Timo Albert Brooks for sure.
Oh, and he also looks surprisingly like Fortune Feimster. Also has a very Fortune.
Fortune Feimster, the female comedian.
Yeah. Okay. She's got a very specific kind of down south look, as it were. That he's very much.
Oh, I know who you mean now. I literally know who you mean just based on the actor.
She's from the Charlotte area there. She's friends with my wife, Fortune.
Is that actor the father of the kid from Bad Santa?
The genetics are strong. He used to live
Man.
next door to the guy's mother.
Who's to say?
There's also one kid who hangs out with Brody's kid and the mayor's kid who looks like he's like the perfect amalgamation of both Owen and Luke Wilson. Like he looks like both of them. And he's one of the kids in that, like, you know, the big crash where all the sailboats are like lashed together, and he's there and with the rest of them. And he's not like a big part of the movie, but it happens over and over again where it's just like, that's got to be a Wilson. Like it's got to be a Wilson. He looks too much like Luke and Owen.
Listen, man, them famous parents be getting around. Y'all know how that is.
It's truth.
It's Hollywood.
Good looking. That's how they get there.
So no, go ahead, guys.
No, that was stupid.
Oh, okay. So I was just wanting to kind of circle back around to the sharks here, and I like the idea if it had been a school of sharks instead of just one shark. You know, like Alien. The sequel was Aliens, but once again, they're still figuring out how to do sequels. Right. How would you guys have liked it if maybe instead of one shark this time it was multiple sharks?
If they went through the whole electrocution thing and we got the one with the thing on his face and everything, and then a second one came in as kind of like that, you know, secondary, I ain't done, motherfucker, kind of thing. Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
The only way that works though is that Brody electrocutes the shark, lays back in his inflatable life raft. Shark comes out and kills Brody. It's the only way that works.
Yeah, he's got to die. That's true.
Because if you're going to have two sharks, your big shocker at the end is that they kill Brody. And I'm guessing that was part of the deal with bringing back Roy Scheider is, oh, no. I'm sticking around forever. You're not killing this character.
You're giving me a separate little special line for this kill and everything, so I can, you know, get another, you know.
Well, they had good lawyers. The studio had good lawyers because he had a loophole that they didn't have to hire him if they could get Michael Caine, because he thought, what's the chances of that?
So here's my biggest question of this movie, and Adam, this is specifically for you. So I know it's very famous that Spielberg claims he's never seen Jaws 2, right? It's a very famous thing. Do you think he's actually never seen Jaws 2, or do you think that's all bullshit?
Here's the thing with most people, I would say it's bullshit and it's a lie. He's one of the few people that I think probably could have a legitimate enough claim to be like, listen, man, I'm Steven Spielberg. I got so much stuff on my plate. It's really tough for me to kind of get in anything. I had that moment. It was really stressful moment for me in my life and everything. I got past it. And like, honestly, as much joy and everything has brought me over the years, I can't really find myself revisiting that era or anything. You could bullshit like that, I think. And so it may be true. If it was anybody else, I'd probably say it was a lie. If it was James Cameron, I'd say, fuck you, you're a liar.
Yeah, of course.
But Steven
Spielberg I could see bitterness keeping from watching the movie because he didn't want it to be made. It's not like he's bitter that he didn't make it. He just would have preferred that there not be a sequel.
It was never made. Right.
Yeah, he felt like he made the definitive shark movie, so why make another one? Like, not only did he not want Jaws 2, he wanted no sharks in movies forever, I guess. I don't know.
The main reason why I'm asking this is because as I'm watching Jaws 2 last night, I thought of that question, and I could totally, like you think, Portress, I could totally see someone like Seth Rogen saying, oh, you know what, like, let's say they made a sequel to Knocked Up or something, and Rogen wasn't in it. I could totally see Rogen saying like, oh, I'll never watch it, and then he watches it on the side, and like a thousand other Hollywood celebrities
that would tell you I ain't watching that, but you know deep down it's like bullshit,
right?
I know you watch it.
But there's something different about Spielberg, where Spielberg, I'm like, there might actually be a chance he's never actually seen this movie, And I think that if he were closer, because he was never super close to Roy Scheider, right? Like he didn't put him in other movies later. He didn't like he's not done anything else with Spielberg after Jaws. So there's a right. So there's no real reason for him, like, oh, my friend is in this, right? And so there's a very good chance that he has still never seen this movie.
He's not even an executive producer or anything on it, which you would think he would at least throw his hat into that to get a little bit of bread on the back end.
He didn't own anything about the movie, like nothing about this movie.
Yeah, he's just a director for hire in the first one, and they hired the right guy.
Yeah, they totally did, and he would learn from Jaws, obviously, from that point forward. Like, oh, I'm going to be in every incarnation of this from this point forward. Yeah, and it's the reason why he's that weird left brain and right brain thing that you never see. Like someone who's hyper creative is 99% of the time no good with money, and he's both things, which is just the rarest thing like that you come across. It is so rare. I don't think I've ever seen it before, like in real life.
I was gonna say nope. Bruce Willis spins like mad, so
the hyper creative Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, listen. Have you seen that Bruno cartoon?
Am I a red-blooded American male and have two eyes? Yes, of course I have. No, I've never seen it. But is it actually him, or is it a sound-alike doing the voice?
I don't remember. Like I was such a kid when it came out, but like even as a child, I was just like, "What is this? Why would I watch this?" No. No,
it's like how Eddie Murphy did all the voiceover for the PJs. Wink, wink, wink.
No, he did most of it. He only missed a couple, like maybe 15 or so.
No way. 15 or so episodes. There's like 24 episodes of that show.
Oh no, there's a lot. There's way more than you would suspect. I looked into it. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot more than you would suspect. Eddie Murphy.
Look the way Adam said, I looked into it.
I did.
Like it was a business.
Well, see,
I believe him. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this because it is available. All the PJs are available on Tubi, and so I started watching it. I was just like, because I was interested in that same idea. I was like, is this Eddie Murphy? And you listen, it's like, oh, there's zero mistaking that is 100% Eddie Murphy. I feel like I could tell a pretty good, fake and stuff like that. But no, especially this, just watch the first one. You're like, it's kind of amazing how well they've got the characters down, even within the pilot episode and stuff. All right, I'm going on.
It was funny. That pilot was funny, man. I get it.
Yeah, the pilot's the only episode I've seen, but I liked it. I just think it, came on television at a time where if two shows came on at the same time, you couldn't watch both. Something that kids these days will never understand.
And if you were lucky, like your parents had a VCR in their room, and you could tape one in one room and then watch it and watch something in the other room, that's when you felt fancy.
You could have stopped.
This is how you know Jaws 2 is a great movie.
Jaws 2, there's moments in it where they just take it out and they're just like, you're watching sailboats now. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel any tension in Jaws 2? Because that's what makes Jaws work so well.
Hangout. It's a hangout movie.
No way. Even the kills that are fun, there's no tension. They come on too quickly. You don't really feel the foreboding.
No. You know who I felt bad for? I felt bad for the nerd that was just about to get some action and stuff on that boat.
Oh, poor guy.
God, he shouldn't have been like he swam out too far. You know what I'm saying?
We've been there, bro.
I feel bad for the deputy that checked out the police boat on the first day as chief, and then the just recently fired chief goes and crashes the boat. And by the way, it looked like he crashed that on purpose. I rewound it and watched it a couple of times. He could have easily avoided that crash.
Hey, the known alcoholic who may or may not be crazy, we should let him on that boat, right? Or the only boat that Martha Vineyard owns? Yeah, let's do it.
I'm glad they got the original actor to return as the mayor, though, because he's always a breath of fresh air when
he's pretty cool.
But I like how he's kind of like he's gone into second banana mode because the other guy, the investor guy, is there preaching to everybody about how all the good stuff is there. So he's kind of like he's grabbing onto his collar there or his elbow and everything. Going, hey, what's going on over here? And here's what's crazy is like, Brody is up in the observation tower and everything. Why wouldn't it just be a smart thing to say, hey, he's watching for sharks to make sure everything is fine? It's like, well, are you so embarrassed that somebody would be looking out for your citizens? What's wrong with you people? It's like,
it doesn't make much sense.
They should be applauding you for making sure everyone's safe. Huh?
Yeah.
They want those dollar bills. Those
greenbacks.
If you're guarding someone from sharks, you can't be making no money. We all know that.
The only thing that makes it weird, and I don't mean to be a contrarian here, is that it is the sheriff, right? Like if it was just like some rando looking out for sharks, that's a totally different story. But the fact that it's the sheriff of Martha's Vineyard who's up there looking for sharks, that's
good time. Yeah, good time. He like it.
I have one note here that I would like to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce's favorite character in this movie. Bruce, could you tell us who your favorite character in this movie is?
Oh man, I'm afraid when you put me on the spot, I'm going to blow it.
No. It's your own favorite. It's whoever.
My favorite character in this movie is, honestly, it's probably Brody.
Oh, okay. Are you sure it's not the helicopter pilot?
Okay, it's the helicopter pilot.
The reason why I bring that up is that that insane beard that the guy has that only Amish people and this helicopter pilot have ever had. And I was like, oh, Bruce is loving the beard choice on this guy.
World's first Amish helicopter pilot on a stage.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a good call. The facial hair did it. Normally, I like a good. What's the name of the guy I like from all the Roger Corman movies? And he was in Gremlins and Gremlins 2.
Oh, Dick.
Dick something. Yeah.
What's his name? Dick. I can't remember his last name right now.
But that's my favorite kind of actor. You know, that kind of performance. And the closest we got was the
Dick Miller.
The closest we got to Dick Miller was the mayor here.
It's true.
He's fantastic.
I got one last note here, which is that because Jaws 2 is so successful, I was like, well, clearly they got to make a Jaws 3, right? Because Jaws, when you're this successful, you're going to make another one. And so Jaws 3 made released in 1983. So 5 years. It took them 5 years to make Jaws 3.
They wanted to perfect that 3D technology before they did.
It made considerably less money, although it has much bigger stars in it. $88 million on a $20 million budget.
Still made money though, so that explains Jaws 4. The Revenge.
It does. I mean, it's that same police academy business model, where it's like we're going to squeeze whatever we can out of this. We're going to get every last dime we can out of this
budget just at this particular point, and we're going to be A-okay. That's all they need.
Right.
All right, well, boys, it's come down to this. Bruce, what is your star rating and recommendations for Jaws 2 from 1979?
Okay, the only reason that I'm really putting any stars here is because I enjoy the way it looks. I like the cinematography. You put it perfectly, Sean, as a hangout. This would be a good one to watch if people are around and you want to have some conversation and stuff like that. But 3 stars, and that's a generous 3, mainly just because I like stuff shot in 1978. So they're all going to get a few stars out of me. 3 stars on this bad boy.
Nice. Sean?
Yeah, for me, it's 3 stars also. This is one of those movies where if you've never seen it, you don't need to. It's not that kind of movie. It's kind of like, hey, you like Jaws, right? This is like reading the book, where like, hey, you want to know what happened after Jaws? This is what this is what Brody did after that.
Yeah, you ever want to hang out with those characters again? Jaws 2 is, or one of those characters again. Then
the one character.
Oh, no.
The 3.
You've got Murray Hamilton. You've got the deputy. You do have the dark-haired lady who was in the first scene from Big Town Meeting and stuff. So there's like 6.
Fair enough, selling no tickets. Nobody's buying tickets for the dark-haired lady at the beginning.
Oh yeah, glasses put asses in seats.
So like you don't need to see it. If it is one of those things where it's not going to piss you off. Like it's not that it's not. It didn't elicit that reaction from me. It's just something where, like Bruce said earlier, you're going to forget about it. It's that kind of movie.
Yeah. Matthew Vandiver in the chat says 3 stars here as well.
Nice.
And that's where I'm going. This is just a nice solid 3 stars. I'd never actually seen this one before, and again, it's like a lot of other sequels to amazingly good movies. Is where you ask yourself, why on earth would I want to see a sequel to a movie that was already done perfectly? You cannot improve on perfection, so why would one even try? And sometimes you get something that's like, is this as good as Jaws? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody would argue that. But if Jaws doesn't exist, this movie's not terrible. You know. Yeah. It's got enough shark action and stuff. I think it could easily lose 20 minutes worth of sailboat shit that we don't.
Oh my God, so easy. I usually push back on you, Porteous, because you think that every movie could be cut down. But with this one specifically, it's like, because this thing has a 2-hour runtime. Yeah. It doesn't need to be. And by the way, the end credits are like 10 seconds long. It's the weirdest thing where oh, okay, we're coming up to the end of the movie. No, it's still going because the end credits are literally like 10 seconds long.
Well, that's what's funny is that I think they did that on account of the first Jaws. Basically, was kind of the exact same way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So I think they were just like, oh, we're gonna end like the same, like the last Jaws did, where it's just like filmed in Hollywood studios or whatever the fuck, and then just on to the next thing.
Bye bye.
That is it, everybody. That is Jaws 2 from 1979. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out here with us over on the YouTube, and we'd appreciate you if you continue to do that. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We'd like to thank all the people that have been there in the chat room and everything. Thanks, Matt, for all of those awesome chats and everything. And, of course, next week, we're continuing on our sequel trend here, everything, with Psycho 2. Again, another movie where, man, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho is such a fantastic film. Surely they couldn't wait 20 years and make an amazing sequel, could they? Could they? Well, we're going to be finding that out here next week as we are talking Psycho 2.
Bruce, Vince Vaughn?
No,
that's just Psycho.
It's just Psycho, with like only 2 bits of things added in, and that's about it.
I've never seen the shot for shot remake. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, it's fine. Like yeah, there's really only 2 things. You know what's really wild is old Steven Soderbergh did some weird editing experiment where he took both the original Psycho and Van Zant's Psycho and kind of co-edited them together to do the story. So it would kind of flip from like one version to the other via scenes and stuff like that. Steven Soderbergh would just be doing some stuff for fun.
Yeah.
He's a weird guy. I love that dude.
I did too.
So yeah, check that out. Bruce, or Sean rather, what else?
I'm on YouTube and I have a podcast with my 2 friends. Check those out.
Check them out, everybody. And that is it. Next week, we will be talking for Psycho 2 for Bruce Leslie, Sweet Sean's and Kovacs from the internet. Go out there and watch some movies, you dirty babies. Come on, there. There we go. I went on a lot longer than I thought.